So we're back and we're still in our old house. Our last video, we told you guys we're actually going to be selling our house. Well, we've actually sold our house. We've closed on this house, and thankfully the offer we got, the person was gracious enough to give us a month of rent for free.
And to give you a little perspective, we filmed the last video on Easter, which was April 17th. And today is Mother's Day, which
Happy
is
Mother's Day.
Thank you. Is May 8th. So almost another month later. So that's why we're closed on our house, done with the sell, which is really nice because, you know, it's not just like somebody makes an offer on your house and you're done. Like, you got to get through the appraisal and the inspection, fixing things on the inspection, and we made it through. But we have 3 weeks till we have to be out of this house.
Yep, 3 weeks.
Trying to get in the next 2 weeks everything packed up except the big furniture, so we can make the big move to the place that we're going to tell you about at the end of the video. So stay tuned.
Yeah, so before we talk about the next house, we'll give a little bit of backstory.
Okay, so a little bit of backstory with our whole housing, selling, buying situation. We have always wanted property, and we didn't know if it was going to be our next house or if it was going to be in the future, like 5 years down the road. And the girls absolutely love being outside.
Yeah,
they could stay outside for hours. So that was our dream, was to have property.
So we've had our eye on property. Yeah. Kim's always sending me listings on Zillow. Yeah. And we're just kind of watching to see. And the market just kept going up, up, up.
But you know, like 3 years ago, the market was, we thought it was high, but it was not high.
Yeah.
So anywhere from like 2 to 3 years ago, there was a house that came on the market. It had an acre. It was fairly remodeled. Had
three bedrooms?
Yeah. The space was great. Had a huge shop in the backyard. Like,
big shop.
We walked through it. We put an offer on it, and we got very much outbid.
Yeah,
by
even at that time, we put an offer of over $10,000 asking. Yeah. And somebody else came in and they offered it was maybe $65,000 over asking.
I mean, we even wrote a letter saying that we really liked.
So we were a little bit shocked. You know. And that was maybe a little bit of an example of things to come with the market.
Yeah. And then the next one, this was, I think, also in 2020. This was around summertime. We put an offer on just another house because another priority that I always had after being in this house for a few years was 1 story. I was just getting tired of this 2-story. It's just very disconnected, not very cozy. And so I said our next house has to be most of the living on the main floor. Anyways, that was kind of a sad situation on our part because we put an offer, it got accepted, and pretty much the day after it got accepted, neither one of us had peace about it, and we walked away. So we lost our earnest money.
Yeah, that was kind of painful.
That was painful, yeah.
And meanwhile, you know, we have been praying for God to help us find our next house. If it's the time to move, we have things that we want, and we're just, you know, asking God that if that's His will, that He'll open or close doors. And we felt like He was closing the door on this house.
Yeah, like we should have never even made an offer on that house.
Yeah,
but
and so
we did. We learned our lesson, and it was a hard one, but we bounced back from it.
Yep.
So
after we walked away from the house in 2020, I found out that the company that owns my company has a home building company, and they were going to be building bunch of houses in a subdivision that was going to be near Eliana's school. And so we found out that we could have access to picking a lot and maybe a floor plan in one of those, in that subdivision. So we said, hey, they make really nice homes. This is great. And so that was really exciting. And so we said, hey, we want to do this. And a little bit of time passed by, and my friend from the other company called me up and he said, hey, the subdivision that we're building in it got delayed. There's some supply chain issues. You know, this is in the middle of COVID. And so, you know, Kim and I are praying this whole time, like, Lord, is this where you want us to be? And we weren't getting a no yet. So fast forward to about the middle of 2021, and they're still delayed. And so, you know, we're kind of like looking at houses here and there on Zillow, but kind of in our mind, we're saying, okay, there's this point in time where they're going to build this subdivision, and we're going to get a house there. And it's by the girls' school, and it's still going to be great. And we know they build quality houses, and so we're just kind of holding on, and then it's now the end of 2021. My friend gives me a call and he says, "Hey, they're doing the work in the subdivision. We figured out which lots we're gonna get. Let's start the process." We finally found out that the neighborhood is moving forward after a ton of delays. We were driving by it every now and then from church, and we can see them making progress. We can see the
curbing,
the water going in, the curbing, the sewer, all that stuff.
The roads were even laid. Everything. We're like, we're gonna be building foundation soon.
And then my friend calls me and says, "Hey, we got the lots. We need you to pick the lot you want. By the way, you're third in line, and there's 2 other employees that we're going to be getting homes in front of me." I said, "That's cool." And so we started looking at floor plans, and we're starting to go through the motions.
And I'm just going to cut in one thing. So the one nice thing about this whole situation is the way they do their houses. You don't put any money up front. You don't put any money until the house is built and you're ready to move in.
Yeah, because they're not customizing homes. Yeah. They're just building a spec.
Thankfully, it was just like, sure, we'll choose a lot. We'll choose a house, like whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of a, let's go for it.
Yeah,
whatever.
there was really nothing to lose there.
Right.
And so we kind of narrowed in on a house, and when, after the fact we thought about it, it wasn't quite what we wanted because there was still the girls' bedrooms would be upstairs. The master was downstairs, the laundry was downstairs, so that was a win.
So most of the living was down, so it was a little better than the house.
But it still had an upstairs.
Right.
Yeah. So then we get a call, and they're like, I got some bad news. My friend tells me he's got some bad news. I was like, what is it? And he says, well, you guys are third in line. The 2 other employees, they picked the lots next to you and across the street from you, and they all picked the same floor plan as you. And the developer of the subdivision will not allow 3 houses with the same floor plan next to each other. And we're like, okay, maybe this is a sign from God that we're not supposed to be building here.
There's not just that one. It's not like it was like 3 floor plans to choose from. There's like 10 floor plans to choose from. There's a lot of floor plans we could have chosen.
And they're all really great.
And the fact that all 3 of us picked the same one, it was like God clearly was like, you will not build a brand new house right now. It's sign after sign after sign from God. He's like, this is why I didn't want you to move on with this.
And I think like God's just like, hey, I need you guys to relax. Stop trying to buy a house, because he's put an opportunity in our lap now that we've been able to close on.
It worked out. The opportunity we are in right now is because obviously we've sold our house. We're not staying here now. But yeah,
way better than we had expected. So I think he just wanted us to be occupied for a while because he knew that we just couldn't sit still.
He knew another opportunity would come up.
That brings us to today. So why are we selling? Where are we moving to?
And I've had some people guess, because I am from Louisiana. They were like, "Oh, you're moving back to Louisiana," and I'm like, "No,
sorry,
it's not across the country."
So as I mentioned, we're moving away from Meridian.
Right.
But it's really not that far. We're moving back to Boise.
Yeah.
So our last house was in Boise. We're moving back to Boise. And it's only like 4 or 5 miles away.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's like it's like 15 minutes from here.
It's really not that far.
So.
But part of the reason that we're moving to Boise is because we were able to buy a house at a great price from one of my business partners, and it is an acre. So it's on an acre. Now, problem with this house is it's kind of old.
So earlier, like I said, I'm from Louisiana, and almost every yard there is at least half an acre. Like, that's just what I grew up with.
Everybody has big yards.
Yeah, they all have big yards. But here in the valley, especially Boise and Meridian, like,
there's not a lot of acre lots.
There's not a lot of acre lots.
Yeah, so we're really blessed because we got an acre lot. It's a great little
and it's pretty much
neighborhood. There's
right
a bunch of
town.
acre lots around us, and it's centrally located right in the middle of Boise, and so we're super excited.
We just took it as a very open door.
So we're going to show you guys a little video walkthrough I did. We probably speeded up a little bit, and I apologize because I recorded it with my phone, so it's a little shaky. But you'll see the house, and you'll see the green linoleum.
Green countertops. Green sink.
The yellow rotary phone attached to the wall. It has a rotary phone. Wood paneling.
Yes. There's a bedroom with cork panels glued all over to the wall.
Yep. So, and actually it's got great bones, but there's so much potential. And the fact that it's on an acre, I forgot to mention it has a little barn shop thing, which is great because I have way too many tools and then you just place to live. So as you guys can see, this house needs some love.
Yeah.
But this isn't our first rodeo with remodeling a house. In fact, we actually remodeled our first house while Kim was pregnant with Eliana, our oldest. And you know, it was trial by fire. I had no idea what I was doing. Somehow Kim believed that we could get it done, thank goodness. And I didn't even have the tools to do it. Like, I had to buy tools as we were going. And so we've got some experience doing that. You know, we've done some projects in this house, we've done flooring, we've done shiplap, and we've learned where we want to do stuff ourselves, and we've learned where we want to pay somebody else to do stuff.
The person who lived there took great care of it or had somebody help take care of it, because if all that stuff is from the 70s, it's in great shape.
Yeah.
The house we remodeled before, as you can see from the pictures, that house was actually in worse condition than...
It was in really bad condition.
Yeah.
So much so that people painted around the furniture. So when they moved out, there was like yellow squares and rectangles on the wall where the furniture was.
You can see where the rug was on the living room floor because it was probably never vacuumed. So just...
And we had to move like the HVAC in that house, and it was just a lot of stuff. And so, you know, we've learned our lesson.
So
we're going to do a little simpler.
I'd say this house is a little bit of an easier rodeo.
On the next video, we're going to show you guys a little bit of the demo process that we're kicking off, and we might even be able to try to show you what our plans are. I've been kind of drawing some stuff up in a program. Maybe we can show you guys some renderings, and we'll get the demo kicked off. You guys can check that out. So until then, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.